Vilomah Moms. I'm Bishop Lisa Weah, and I'm going to welcome you to the Vilomah Journey podcast for us, bereaved moms. The podcast where we sit each week with super women who have unwillingly joined this club that no one wants to belong to. Yet we get up each day and we continue this uniquely and unusually challenging journey with God, connected to and encouraged by one another in Christ. We started this fall with a talk series entitled The Shock, the Silence, the Shift. And we each shared our stories about the day everything changed, the moment we lost our children, and what we remember. And then we dialogued through these initial episodes about navigating those earliest stages of grief, the disorientation, the loss of identity, and the loneliness that follows child loss. So as you watch this final segment from the first series, our prayer is that you will hear your story somewhere in our stories, the pain and the power to live forward. Please like, follow, and share the Vilomah Journey podcast. Sow into Vilomah Inc. at $Lisa Weah. Mail your gift to us at P.O. Box 24067, Baltimore, Maryland 21227, or visit us at lisaweah.com if you are so led to plant a seed or to connect with us. And now, the conclusion of The Shock, the Silence, the Shift. Be blessed.
It is scary to move forward and, to figure out how to live again. But that's, to me, seems a lot less scary than having to walk around with this level of hurt forever. I can't do that.
Yeah. I think conquering the fear of facing the pain is part of the reason we need support of each other. Hearing another mom talk about the horror of this pain, it's never going to be normal, but it normalizes my pain to a place where I'm not afraid to face it now, because Inez said she had this kind of physical manifestation of pain from this experience. I'm not crazy. This is normal for this type of trauma, so I can face this because she did it. Yeah,
it's an open wound. I likened it to an open wound that was created. And so the sensations that I, had started to feel, it was unlike anything I had ever experienced. But I was willing to lay before God and get that healing, because as you stated, I didn't want to stay in that shape. I didn't want, that feeling to continue to overwhelm me.
Yeah.
And so, for some people, it may be attractive for them to continue to hold on to that pain. But as you stated, are you willing to do that for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
So let's put in the work now.
Yeah.
Like the man by the pool of Bethesda.
Yes.
He's lying there for 38 years. And Jesus walks up and says, do you want to be well? There's a certain attention that comes from being in a wounded place. And when you're wounded, you can fall into an unhealthy mindset of, I need attention because I'm hurting. When the cure for hurting is to move towards healing, not seek attention in your hurt. I think that when we get delivered from believing that somebody else is going to come along and be our magic cure and take our own power and engage in this process with God for ourselves. When we get delivered from looking for, I stop looking for somebody else to have the right words. No, unless you can give me my daughter back, you can't help me.
Yeah.
You can't help me.
You really can't.
I had to get up from that pool myself and answer Jesus's question. Would thou be made whole? Yes, Jesus, help me.
And really, that's the thing, because, like, if you think about it, the man at the pool was known as the man at the pool. He wasn't born as that person. No. He had a name, but we don't know, because
he became his affliction.
He became his affliction. That was his identity, and he held on to it.
And he was surrounded by people who couldn't help him. Couldn't nobody at the pool help him. He kept saying, nobody will help me in the water. Well, it's because they couldn't get in the water themselves.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, we've got to take our power, and we've got to allow Jesus to meet us in this place and challenge us to move from where we are, as painful as it is, and trust that if he brought us to this point in life, he will take us to the finish line. He really will.
And recognize that it's not a linear process. It's a scrambled mess. Yeah, it's messy.
It's messy.
And you'll have good days, good weeks.
Yes.
And something will take you right back. Yeah. Even years or decades later, something can happen that will bring you right back to that moment. One of the things that I share with my clients is, you know, they want to know, like, well, how do I know if I'm getting better? Because to some degree, you're going to experience this forever. And I tell them to look for signs that there is either a decrease in frequency or a decrease in intensity.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are moments that will absolutely take me back. I had one recently, which I won't go into right now, but it didn't last as long as it did 13 years ago. But it was still pretty intense. Yeah. And sometimes you'll feel it and like it hurts, you know, so maybe it doesn't hurt as much as it did right when it happened. Or you have a bad day or a bad several days, but that's not the same as the weeks when I couldn't get out of the bed. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, there are signs that you're moving in the right direction, but there will always be something. There'll always be moments.
Yeah, there'll always be moments.
It's a thorn.
A song might catch you off guard. Turning on a TV show. A family moment. You know, because it's not just remembering moments you had. It's like when you get into new moments and realizing that person's not there. So, yeah, but you got to give yourself the grace to have those moments. But I think that's important, though, to do some self-checks to see where you are, and to celebrate that you're moving forward. Yeah. That you're moving forward. Now, I was just telling Shauna, I had a bad week this week. I was like, oh, this was a bad mental health week. I was just, you know, it was too much. I was like, I have to assess where I am every morning, throughout the day, in the evening, and I notice if I don't get enough rest, then grief can overtake me. If I have put too much on my calendar for a week, it will mentally exhaust me to the point where the grief will overwhelm me. So I have to manage myself, but I think we don't do enough, like I said, self-care. We don't do enough self-assessing. We don't do enough giving ourselves permission to be in that space. And we've got to not be afraid of sitting in silence. Because if you're always around people all the time and you're always in noise and you're always busy, how can you assess yourself? How can you assess where you are?
And to that end, when you are spending time, it's really important to connect with other people who get it.
Who get it.
Because there are so many people who mean well, but they don't get it.
They don't.
And it makes it harder. And it feels, I mean, by nature, it feels very isolating. Like cognitively, I know I'm not the only woman who's ever lost a child, but when it happens to you, it doesn't feel that way. And it's important, one, to connect. The other reason it's important to connect with other people who get it is because the people that we normally rely on for support are not usually able to show up for us in the ways we need them to during this period of time.
Right.
So a lot of time we end up not getting the support that we need.
And you know what? That was disappointing to me, to discover that, you know, even highly spiritual people in ministry, they didn't know how to show up in a personal way for me. Because, and I think I said this earlier, you know, in ministry, we are professional comforters. That's what we do. We are professional crisis, you know, managers. We step in and we guide people through, you know. So, but when it happens to someone close to you, are you able to show up for them in a real way beyond that moment of crisis? And I discovered that a lot of people that I thought were friends and I thought, you know, knew how to handle things in life, they couldn't walk with me past the moment that something happened. On a personal level, the people can't go into that place with you. People it's not even that they don't understand, because I don't want them to understand, but it's that they don't have the capacity to be empathetic to what they don't understand. It's like, okay, that moment's over, let's move on to the next crisis. Well, it doesn't work that way. It don't work that way. I'm not in the moment of crisis, but I'm still in a place of grief. And I've got to learn how to carry on in life and help other people through moments of crisis and through their grief at the same time. But you can't dismiss the fact that my child is still with Jesus.
And there's no time limit.
Yeah,
No time limit.
That fact it remains, and it's not that I haven't accepted it. I say it every day.
And also, we have to take a step back and realize that in most cases, the people that you may work with, do ministry with, and even sometimes your girlfriends are not assigned to you by God to get you through that moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
so asking God, who am I assigned to? And who will be assigned to me?
Yeah.
Because personally, it made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know, for me to say to individuals, you know, when they come back, oh, I didn't know what to do. I feel so bad. I should have been there. You know, and me saying it is okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
You know, you were not assigned to me, and God had already showed me exactly who would accompany me on my journey.
Yeah.
You know, and so a lot of times people, they're not trained in the escalation model, conflict resolution, you know, and so they don't, you know, present the way we would present being trained in that capacity. You know, walking into a room and you see everything, you know, all blown out and distorted. And you can walk in and you can start the escalation model, and before you know it, everybody is even tempered. Everyone is come, let us reason together moments. But if you're not trained in that, because that's what it really requires. Yeah. When you have lost a child, you need different components of different people that God has assigned. Right. Because some people will come in and they will hijack your grief.
Yes.
Whew.
And we got to be careful that when individuals are grieving, that we're not then pushing our experience on them, in that moment. But sometimes it's just being there for that person.
Being there. Yeah.
Even if you don't know what to do, just be there.
Be there. Thank you for joining us on this Vilomah journey, beloved. The journey continues next week with our next series entitled The Body, the Spirit, the Heart, tending to the emotional, physical, and spiritual toll of child loss. If these sessions are encouraging you and adding value to you, we need you to do two things. Share it with at least 5 people you know. And utilize the information on your screen to sow into the Vilomah Journey podcast so that we can continue to reach millions of Vilomah women all around the world. We love you. Be blessed.